All right. Hey, Justin, nice to see you. And thank you so much for being here.
Oh yeah, good to see you too, Jackie.
All right. And so I thought what we would do for our call today for this video testimonial is first, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself and yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure thing. Yeah, so I'm a structural engineer. I own my own business. I'm the president of the business. I've been an engineer for almost 20 years or just over 20 years now. I'm in the 11th year of running my own business. And I work for myself, but I also, I mean, even though I do just work for myself, I'm in constant contact and collaboration with contractors and architects and homeowners and business owners and pretty much everybody across the spectrum of somebody who works in or lives in like a building or something along those lines.
Wow. Yeah. So you're a hectic, busy entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you share a little bit with me and whoever's watching this around when we first started working together. Tell me a little bit about what was happening in your career situation in your life, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, when we first started sitting down and going through coaching, yeah, there was a bunch of difficulties that I was experiencing at the time. Work-wise, I was classic burnt out. I was working way too much, or felt like I was working way too much.
Mhm.
I felt like I couldn't focus. My home life was suffering. I felt like I was in a bit of an endless spiral with trying to keep up with work, try to keep clients happy. I found myself making sacrifices for my clients, even though it was at my own detriment. Yeah, things were a struggle, and it was translating into some real difficult challenges at home with my partner. We were on the verge of separating. We were having some really tough times because I was a mess, both emotionally and physically, I guess you could say. I'm normally, or was normally, a pretty active person as well, and I was noticing that I was gaining weight, which was the first time I'd ever gained weight really in my life. Yeah, and I was just things were not good. Things were a struggle, that's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely recall that when we first started doing this work. And so that was then, that was like, I think I've been almost like a year and a half, 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
And now take us to today. So share with everybody a little bit about what results have you experienced since going through this program?
sure. Yeah. I think the biggest thing which is essentially led to successes in kind of all the areas is the main thing is that it's given me control over myself again. Like I make my own decisions, and I make decisions in the best interest of myself, which translates into making good decisions for my business and good decisions for my family. So, essentially what's happened at work now is I don't feel like I'm at the effect of my work. I feel like, you know, I pick and choose what I want to work on. And I'm able to communicate much better with clients in terms of timeframes and what I'm capable of doing. And I found that it's really strengthened relationships with clients, and it's allowed me to actually deliver things, deliver projects and whatnot in a more timely fashion as well. so that's been you know, game changing at the end of the day, because I don't show up to work now in a massive panic and stay in a massive panic for the rest of the day. You know, I can get to work, I can plan my day, and I can work through it, you know, fairly efficiently and effectively, and feel good about what I've produced at the end of the day, as well
Yeah.
as how I've managed to communicate that to my clients as well.
Yeah, I remember when we first started, you would go to work and just be in like this vortex of going in circles and feeling overwhelmed. And
Mhm.
that in and of itself was taking up so much of your time.
Yeah,
And then you would just continue to go into circles and circles and spirals.
yeah,
Oh, okay, that's
yeah,
great. And
yeah.
is there any other results that you feel are some really big wins that you've gotten out of this?
Yeah, for sure. So other than the work results that I just mentioned, kind of as I mentioned at the start of this too, you know, myself and my partner probably are at our most strongest level of relationship right now. That's been, you know, if anything, that's been really the most, the thing I'm most proud of and thankful for.
Mm.
Um, Having gotten that relationship back on track and really, you know, solidified that. Um, and then as well, so the other benefits is because I've taken more control over my life again, you know, I'm exercising far more. I'm getting back into things that I actually want to do. So, you know, last summer, like I'm a trail runner, I do a lot of trail running, and I've been eager to get into some longer distance stuff. And you know, I finally achieved one of my goals of running, you know, 3 50-kilometer races,
Yeah, yeah,
which is a pretty big deal. Uh,
huge. Yeah.
yeah, and I lost all the weight that I had gained, and I feel really good in my body again too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean things are great, like in terms of home life and stuff like that too. My uh you know, myself and my partner and her daughter, my bonus daughter, we had some really awesome vacation time last year too, some really great family time together. Um and yeah, for that, you know, I'm super thankful and grateful for.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I remember you saying how challenging holidays were before because your mind was constantly circular and you felt like you were just bringing that vortex of darkness with you even on holidays. So
Yeah.
that's even you're able to be present now with
Hmm.
your holidays and your family too. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Really great work. Um, that's amazing. I really want to celebrate you. And so if anybody was watching this right now, I'm hoping there will be, but would there be any advice or what would you tell others who might be considering doing some sort of a program or getting some coaching for themselves? What type of advice would you give them?
For sure. Yeah. So this was kind of my first experience with consistent, like with a consistent coaching program.
Yep.
And I had done like counseling or therapy on and off a number of times over the years as well. And what I've found is that the difference between coaching and therapy is that coaching has me live in the here and now and gives me a game plan for how I bring myself from now to, you know, my dreams or goals that I have, whether it's work related or family related or anything like that. Um, and what it so that's been a real treat. And what it also has brought to me is like consistency to
Yeah.
my actions that I can take to move myself um, towards my goals, or move myself into a headspace of being able to generate goals, or manage myself in a much more effective and powerful way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Great.
Having the consistency for me has been one of the biggest things, is having, a consistent program that is at the end of the day fairly simple to follow, but so powerful and impactful. The repetitive nature of it really has it sink in and allowed me to actually live into it and then start to practice it and have it become more of my, everyday way of being.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I feel like what you're speaking to is the nature of the reason why we have it structured, because having a study and being habitual and using repetition and having that accountability, but then having also somebody who can support you to be able to help you get a little bit more clear, and just like that guided extra support with the hands around you is something that's the really big clincher for many people. So thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. And my hope is that as a result of people watching your situation and your transformation, that this can be used to support other people so that they can understand that they don't need to, just be surviving and not feeling great. And that you're a prime example of how somebody can come so far and start their life in a new way, in a new transformational way, and create these amazing results. It's not reserved for the few. So thank you so much for taking the time. I much appreciate you sharing your story.
Yeah, my pleasure. And yeah, no, I'm certainly grateful for all that you've provided me with. I mean, when we started, my MO was hopelessness. I just could not see a way out of where I was at. And from where I sit right now, it's every once in a while I have to pinch myself, because I'm like I actually don't relate to that part of myself nearly as much. It's been minimized, and I actually feel good in my skin again. So yeah,
You
no.
look like you. You look like you. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's been such a pleasure, and thank you again for taking the time.
of course. Thanks, Jackie.
Hey, you're welcome.
Okay.